Well, today I want to give you some informations and actually 5 reasons why the copper price is really likely to stay sky high for the next week and even months or maybe even years. 5 reasons for that. The first one is definitely the US stimulus money. As we look at the Biden administration in the United States, it looks like he will spend almost 10 trillion on stimulating the US economy in the wake actually of the coronavirus chaos. And given that the US economy looks to be going into a growth mode on its own, if we look at the latest figures, the merits of this policy are debatable. But one thing is for sure, a major component of the US stimulus spend will be on infrastructure. And if we talk about infrastructure, we'll have to talk also definitely about copper. Another reason, number 2, is the massive demand from China. Ultimately, it's the Chinese that have been underwriting the strong metal prices of the last couple of decades in copper. With the Chinese economy now back into almost a full growth mode following the coronavirus lockdowns, it looked like it will continue to be exactly that case. Why? Simply, copper is used in the wiring, in the piping of new buildings, and nowhere is building as many new buildings or at such a high rate as in China. China is the world's largest consumer of copper, and it is currently 25% more of the metal is being used than it was a year ago. Reason number 3 is the electric vehicle usage. The amount of copper which is being used in an electric vehicle is by many times bigger than on petrol or gasoline power cars. So with the current electric vehicles becoming increasingly visible on our roads, and the numbers are definitely going to be higher in the coming years. Car makers are going to be demanding more and more copper from their suppliers. So not only nickel, cobalt or lithium, but definitely also copper. And it's not just for the vehicles. The metal will also be required in the associated infrastructure, particularly in connecting all the charging points that will be need to be built for the electric cars. Reason number 4 is the limited supply available from the mines. Copper might be riding high now, but the price hasn't been that strong for that long. And prior to its recent run, miners weren't making particularly large profits on their copper operations. And there has been also quite a limited incentive to start new mining projects. So that means that there is little in the way on extra supply coming up on stream to meet all this surging demand which will come from the consumption. So there will be in due course, now that the price being high, but new miners, as we know, take years to put new mining projections into production and are also increasingly tough to permit. Reason number 5 is definitely the currency prices, and they continue to weaken. So copper, as we know, is priced in US dollar. And it's also well known that the US Federal Reserve has been on a massive dollar printing binge over the past few years. So there seems to be no sign that this will let up either. And a greater quantity of dollars in circulation will means that each dollar is worth less. Or just to put it another way, any commodities that are priced in dollars are likely to be worth more. So as the bellwether for the global economy, copper is as likely commodity as any to be subject to this upward pricing pressure, although it also affects gold, silver, and a host of other metals.